There are a lot of Mega Man games, and as a result, a shitload of Robot Masters. And I'm here to count down the 10 best ones. The Robot Masters are pretty much what make each Mega Man game. I mean, that's how we always remember them, right?
You can call me handsome guy.
Ugh. Mega Man 8. For this list, I'll only be using Mega Man 1 through 10, and only the 8 Robot Masters from each game will be eligible, so like, no Proto Man or Dark Man or any of that shit. Here we go! Number 10! Wait, hold on. This guy's not supposed to be here. I guess this list got mixed up with my 10 worst Robot Masters video. Well, I guess there's no turning back now, so here goes! In all honesty, SheepMan for Mega Man 10 is simultaneously one of the greatest and worst Robot Masters ever made. I mean, look at him! He's ridiculous. SheepMan? He's definitely got that whole so bad it's good thing going for him. Honestly, his appearance is really the only thing you can count against him. Conceptually, he's got some pretty clever stuff going on. He's Mega Man 10's electric boss, and his electricity is created by static electricity getting stored up in his wool, which he can then release as an electric attack. His level is covered in this matrixy looking binary, and the idea of an electric sheep is reminiscent of one of my favorite Pokemon, Ampharos, who's also an electric sheep, and both of them are likely references to the sci-fi novel Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep. So there's a lot more to SheepMan than meets the eye. Plus, he'll whoop your ass. This guy's, like, pretty strong. Number 9! Okay, disclaimer time. I am a child, and all the Robot Masters from here on out are either gonna be colored red or just overly designed and really corny. Well, at least this guy isn't red. ShadowMan has a few really cool things going for him. Apparently, and this is really interesting because I literally just read it off the Mega Man wiki, but ShadowMan was allegedly created by an alien civilization and merely discovered and reprogrammed by Dr. Wily. Who knew? He's also a ninja with a really slick design, and his weapon is pretty evocative of Metalman's saw blades, which I've always been a fan of. But there's a more important reason ShadowMan is on the list. Allow me to explain. ShadowMan is a Robot Master for Mega Man 3, the game in which Mega Man graduates from being Jump and Shoot Man to Jump, Shoot, and Slide Man. Sliding is a pretty awesome addition to Mega Man's skill set. It helps you avoid projectiles that you never could have before and gives you an edge on the game's bosses in terms of mobility. It feels like such a feature that's so special and unique to Mega Man. That is until this guy does it! And it's so surprising too. Any Mega Man veteran is used to bosses jumping around like lunatics, so usually taking the low road is pretty safe. And sliding is a good way to avoid a boss's spastic jumping. Nope, not against this guy. He's got mad skills too, and it's gonna take more than a little agility to deal with him. Luckily for Mega Man, his weakness is the absolute worst power in the game. Everyone knows ninjas hate tops. Number 8! Being a massive nerd my entire life, I've always had a thing for medieval fantasy. So when I saw KnightMan for the first time, he immediately became my favorite Robot Master for Mega Man 6. I absolutely love how seamlessly medieval knight armor translates into the typical Robot Master style armor. Plus he's got one of those very intimidating vial-esque helmets that hides the face and shows only the eyes, which subconsciously makes KnightMan appear less human to the player. His weapon is also cool AF as fuck in my IMO if I'm being TBH. Fam. He's got a buster like a typical Mega Man character, but he flings a giant flail out of it, and he carries a shield that can stop all attacks from the front, except for his weakness, of course, the Yamato Spear. Not to mention his level is totally decked out like a medieval castle. This dude really has a lot going for him, but the reason he landed so low on this list is that fighting him is pretty damn boring. He jumps, he flings his spike ball, he's kinda slow. If you have Yamato Spear, he's a joke. And of course, he must always be on the lookout for his greatest adversary ever.
Dayman, that's it! Dayman!
Number 7! Mega Man 5 isn't the most popular game around by any stretch, but it has its moments. One of those moments is GravityMan. What a cool concept for a boss! I literally just stole those lines from a video I made 4 years ago. 50 bazillion points if you've been subscribed for that long. Anyway, like I said, GravityMan is probably the coolest part of an otherwise unremarkable, but still very good, don't hurt me, Mega Man game. I mean, first off, he's red, which is objectively the best color, and his overall design is just really badass. He's a big dude and he's got this huge upper body that extends into these very daunting pointed shoulders. I love how he's got some kind of gauge on his chest too, implying that the reason for his size and his large upper body is that he's literally a walking gravity machine. I mean, it makes sense, right? Considering you're flipped upside down right from the get-go, the fight with GravityMan is this really disorienting ballet of timing and coordination that totally throws you off what you're used to at first. But once you get the hang of it, it's like riding a bike. It's also worth mentioning that the way the gravity effects are used in this level is just amazingly clever. But maybe we'll talk more about that if I ever make a top 10 stages video. Number 6! Mega Man 8 is kind of bad, but without it, we would have never gotten this.
Let's recover all the energy immediately, MegaMan.
Despite the mediocre gameplay and the horrendous voice acting, Mega Man 8 had some solid Robot Master designs, my favorite of which is SwordMan. Remember that time I said I was a huge nerd for medieval shit? Still true. There's a lot of really interesting trivia surrounding SwordMan, like the fact that his giant sword wasn't built by Wily, but rather it's an ancient sword that Wily stole from a museum and used to create SwordMan. His boss fight is pretty unique too, considering his upper and lower body are separate and he can attack individually with one or the other. My personal favorite attack of this nature is his fire slash technique, a flaming spinning slash that sends his top half careening towards you while his bottom half blocks your escape route. When you defeat him, you're granted the flame sword, one of my absolute favorite power-ups, because it's like a flaming sword and that's just cool. But I already made that video. Number 5! Hell yeah, look at this guy! QuickMan is rad. He's also red. He's also really cool. I've always thought this guy was a badass ever since I was little. I mean, QuickMan is hard.
I'm hard, man.
No, not like that. He's just difficult to fight. He runs around the room freakishly fast, jumps ridiculously high, and throws boomerangs at crazy speeds that go every which way and fly back to him unpredictably, giving them double the chance to fly straight up your ass. He's also one of the few Robot Masters who doesn't die to a full usage of his weakness, that being the Time Stopper. It's actually pretty damn satisfying to get him down to half health, knowing that once you unleash your Time Stopper on him, he'll be completely and comically helpless. I know I also talked about him in a video 4 years ago, but that's enough time to start rehashing shit, right? Well, Mega Man 2's developer specifically requested that QuickMan's art extend outside the frame on the boss select screen to differentiate him from the rest of the game's bosses. That plus his cocky smirk, his flashy appearance, his difficulty, and his level full of horrible death lasers all serve to make QuickMan one of the coolest and most memorable Robot Masters ever. Number 4! Holy shit, one that's not red! Real talk? SplashWoman for Mega Man 9 is epic. Like QuickMan, her stage select portrait extends beyond the borders of the frame, which is clearly a sign of being cool as heck. SplashWoman's design is one of the absolute best Robot Master designs ever. Everything from the awesome swooshy thing on her head, to the mermaid tail, to the laser trident, generates mad style points and makes SplashWoman's design one of the dopest around. Oh yeah, did I mention laser trident? It's as cool as it sounds. During the battle with SplashWoman, she swims back and forth overhead, raining laser tridents down on your sorry ass and staying out of your reach for most of the battle, making her one of the toughest bosses in the game. Of course, when you defeat her, you get the laser trident for yourself, and fun fact, it's the strongest weapon in the game. And it's a laser trident. I'm sorry, that's just cool as fuck, okay? Number 3! Damn it, Drillman is so cool! Aside from the fact that he's red and made of exploding drills, my love for Drillman actually has a bit of a story behind it. I was first introduced to Mega Man at the wee age of, I don't know, 4 or 5 maybe. I was watching one of my dad's co-workers play Mega Man 4 and he invited me to give it a try. He was on the stage select screen and he said, pick the guy you want to beat. But I thought he said pick the guy you want to be, and naturally I was drawn to this giant goofy pair of eyes with a metal cone on his head. I actually have no idea why Drillman's portrait was so appealing to me, but when I saw his entire sprite on the boss introduction screen, I was like, hell yes, this is my dude. And then suddenly, to my dismay, I was this blue dweeb. But it was okay. I kept playing anyway because it was the most fun I'd ever had, and with no experience with Mega Man whatsoever, I got 2 Drillman by myself at the age of whatever I was. I didn't beat him, of course, but at that moment I knew 2 things. Drillman was fucking cool, and Mega Man was my jam, and I needed it in my life! Eventually, my dad's co-worker gave me his NES, and things would never be the same. Also, like, whoa, he's fucking red and his hands are giant drills and his head is a giant drill too, and he can pop out of the ground and drill your shit, and he shoots exploding drills, and when you beat him you get exploding drills, and it's awesome! Number 2! Wow, another bright red robot covered in metallic power tools? Call me predictable, but you knew Metalman was gonna make the list. There's just something so brutal about the idea of throwing freaking saw blades at your enemies. Fun fact, his saw blades are made out of a fictional metal alloy called Ceratanium that Dr. Light created and used to build MegaMan. The only things in the classic series made out of this stuff are MegaMan himself, Cutman's rolling cutter, Hardman's body, and of course Metalman's metal blades. Dr. Wily actually based Metalman on Cutman's design, except with the intention of actually being a combat robot and not a little punk bitch.
Cut the cards. Hey!
This dude's physical appearance makes him literally the edgiest robot master of them all, what with all the saw blades sticking out everywhere. The circular saw on his forehead almost gives him the appearance of a doctor, but like a crazy one who wants to chop off all your limbs with a saw. When you get his metal blade weapon for yourself, it completely breaks Mega Man 2. It's seriously the most overpowered thing ever. Honestly, the only thing Metalman doesn't have going for him is the fact that his actual boss fight is a little boring and easy. He just kind of jumps and throws blades, and they're not all that tough to avoid. Plus, he dies to one or two of his own weapons, so that's a bummer. Number 1! That last one is gonna be hard to top, right? Don't worry, it's not Top Man. Does this guy even need an introduction? ShadowMan is a fucking boss and everyone knows it. I mean, not like he's a boss for Mega Man 4. I mean, he is, but I mean like, he's like a boss, you know? Like he runs shit like a boss. Never mind. Anyway, this dude's a pretty big deal. And if you watched last week's video about the animated series or some kind of meme lord, you know why. Because in the Mega Man animated series, Mega Man takes his power and he gives zero fucks and punches Mega Man's lights out anyway. It's epic. But I guess this video should focus more on the game. So does ShadowMan still deserve the number 1 spot? Hell yes! Look at him! He just floats around glowing with blue and purple fire just for the fun of it because he knows he looks cool as shit. He's one of those bosses that has so much flair and style when you fight him. He does that whole disco finger move that Mega Man bosses like to do sometimes for whatever reason. Except when he does it, he charges up an energy blast and tries to fry your face. There's also something cool about the way he leaps around the stage chucking fireballs at you. Literally every pose this guy does makes him look cool. Plus, it's one of those fights that doesn't feel cheap. It feels fair when he beats you, and if you manage to beat him, it's probably because you earned it, or because he just stood in one spot shooting his Pharaoh shot over and over like an idiot. Either way, when I grow up, I want to be ShadowMan. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope everyone is enjoying Mega Man March. Things are in full swing, and I'm having fun making videos again, so this has been a cool thing for me. So I hope everyone is enjoying all the videos that are being made now. Cool, great, thanks. I would like to thank all of my generous supporters on Patreon, whose names you see in the credits right now, especially the Icarus Gambit, Maro Ochi, Angel Freisinger, Randall Schultz, the NM22, Mika Bunny, Kayoya, Jake Hester, Stooge, and Ragnar Amos. Of course, if you want to support me on Patreon, you can find a link to that down in the description. Every little bit helps. Making my living off of YouTube is a very inconsistent thing, so, you know, whatever.